was a seat. We got coaches getting IV'd. We got players getting IV'd. But the old fellow doesn't need an IV because they don't make them like they used to. But what a great college football game. I never ever remember coming back from being 18 points down and then get 18 points ahead and in like seconds let them score twice to be back in the game. And the offense did a great job of taking the air out of it at the end. But you have to give a lot of credit to all phases of the game today. I thought we did a really good job on offense, controlling the ball. You know, defensively, we didn't play great. We gave up too many big plays, but we scored, you know, on defense. And it's huge in the game, the scores that we had on defense. We had a score on a punt return. Huge in the game. So all phases and all players contributed to this, and it was a great team win, and we needed about every guy we had out there to contribute in some ways. You know, we had guys playing out there at the end, a couple freshmen, a couple guys were hurt, Minka went out, Eddie went out. So I think those guys will be okay. I think the only guy that's probably questionable for next week will be our Darius Stewart, who has a knee sprain. But we don't think it's severe, but we'll make sure of all that. And hopefully he'll be back in a couple weeks. I thought Jalen Hurts did a really good job of managing the game today. Obviously made a lot of yards rushing. You know, we got to continue to work on the passing game, and we got to do a much better job on defense, not giving up explosive plays. You know, we didn't play that bad on defense, but made mental errors, gave up explosive plays, didn't play the ball very well in the deep part of the field. So Ole Miss has got a really good offensive team, and Chad Kelly's obviously a really good player. I think it was huge when we stopped them, you know, on the 1 yard line, and they had to kick a field goal there. But this game was so wild and woolly, I'm not sure whatever happened in the game, something else crazy wouldn't have happened, you know, past that. It was an unbelievable game for fans to watch. It was really a difficult game for an old coach to have to try to suffer through, but we made it. We made it, and I'm really proud of our players. And the one thing you got to say about our players in this game is, you know, they competed from the heart. To get back in the game in the second quarter, they were really excited. I think it changed the momentum a little bit. Kind of got stung early in this game, and you know, I'm really, really proud of the way our players just kept battling. And we didn't execute like we'd like in some circumstances, but those things we can correct, and we certainly need to get them corrected. So, you know, we're going to give the players 2 days off today and won't practice on Monday. I think we need a little break here. We need a little recovery. This was a tough game, and you know, hopefully get some of these guys back healthy and get ready for, you know, the next game and the improvements that we need to make. There's so many lessons to be learned in this game. So many lessons, so many opportunities to teach. It will be good for our staff and our players.
We'll start over here with Michael.
You guys go down 24-3. Considering the last few years where this game's now, what's the message on the sideline? How do you keep people from, you know?
Well, you know, we kind of told the players that we thought this was going to be a 60-minute game, that we probably would have to wear them down and beat them in the second half. I didn't think it would work quite that way. But I do think that the players, knowing what happened in the Florida State game, you know, sort of when Ole Miss kind of jumped on them, made some big plays, got way ahead in the game, and Florida State just kept playing. Showed a lot about the competitive character of the players that continue to do that. And, you know, scoring right before the half, it was really huge, twice. So that was big. So, but, you know, they got one of their touchdowns. Their defense scored on us, too, to get ahead 24-3, you know, on a sack. So, fumble, which was an error in protection. So, you know, I think that's what we try to do, is keep the players playing. They were great at halftime. They thought they could win the game, and certainly did a good job until right there at the end when we sort of almost let them back in it. Damon Harris played lights out today, made some real tough runs, and that last yard he made to get a first down, that was nothing but tenacity.
We'll go down front with Mark.
We saw Eddie Jackson back there returning punts. When was that decision made to put him back there? And what did you see from him?
Well, you know, we've been looking for a punt returner. You know, we've had Calvin Ridley back there, and you know, we were looking for somebody that could be their role, and they could be explosive in that role. Eddie's always been a guy that has great instincts and judgment, and he may not be as explosive as some other guys when it comes to just, you know, lights out, but he is so good at picking his way on interception returns and punt returns that we just decided after last week, and in the first two games we had two opportunities for big returns, and the returner missed them both. So we just decided that this would be the time for him to do it. Had a lot of confidence in him, and it was a big play in the game.
On the left, Ben.
Did you see the progress that you wanted to from the run game this week?
Yeah, we ran the ball really effectively. We need to throw it a little better. I think Jalen sprained his wrist a little bit. It might have affected him a little bit in the second quarter, but he's fine, and do it better later.
We'll go over here with Dwayne.
Coach, Jalen, he went through a lot of growing pains today, but how much did he grow up in this environment? The fumble didn't come back and make plays.
Well, the fumble sure wasn't his fault. I mean, we just busted a protection. I mean, the right tackle's, you know, supposed to block number 30, and he slid the wrong direction, so we had nobody blocking the guy, and I don't think you can put that on the quarterback, but, you know, he's very athletic. We still got to work on the passing game. It's not that he can't throw it, he can throw it. We just got to get him more comfortable reading and making quick decisions and getting the ball out of his hand. I think the offensive line played a little better today, and that's why we were able to run the ball, but I also thought we had a really good plan as to how to run it. And I think Jalen being able to run it opens a lot of those things up.
Two more, Rachel and then Alex.
You mentioned that momentum change in the second quarter. It was really pronounced. Was that something that, there was a message from the coaches on the sidelines? Did they just wake up? Did they talk to each other?
No, we just, you know, kept saying we got to keep playing. We got to keep playing. And, you know, score one touchdown and we're back in the game. So, and we're able to score two. So, you know, that's a message that we always try to give to our players about how you compete, how you have to be relentless. That was a message in, you know, for this game. And you got to, you know, overcome adversity. You know, I actually talked to the players about, I asked them if they like football. And they said, yeah, we like it. Everybody raised their hand. I said, well, how many of you love it? How many of you love it? How many really love it? And a lot of guys put their hand up. And I said, how many guys really love their teammates? Everybody put their hand up. And I said, you know, to overcome burdens, whether it's in a marriage, in a job, you know, people are all excited, I'm going to get married. This is, you know, the woman of my dreams. And then 5 years later, you know, I can't get along at all. You get a job and you say, this is the job that I've always wanted. 5 years later, punching a clock, putting in time. So there's a lot of different ways you can quit. And I told the players, if you can overcome the burden, if you really love, that's how you overcome burdens. People who quit can't overcome burdens. And we'll have burdens in this game and we'll have to overcome them. That was a message coming here, and I said, if you guys really love each other, you're going to be able to overcome whatever we have to. And I never dreamed that it would be like it was, but it turned out to be a pretty timely message. And the players really responded to it.
Sorry, Coach, last one.
Two questions real quick. What do you attribute the elevated pass rush in the second half to?
Well, we pressured a little more. You know, we made a lot of mental errors in the first half, and when you're making mental errors, you kind of get afraid to do things. All right, so we showed them all the stuff at halftime. We told them how we were going to adjust it. All right, so a couple of those sacks were linebacker plugs, and you know, we executed them well, and we got some pressure. And obviously, scored a touchdown off a sack fumble, and, that was big in the game, and got the ball out of him, and, Jonathan Allen ran for a touchdown. That was big in the game because they were in the red area. So the tough thing about it for us is, this guy ran a lot when we played man-to-man and had him covered, and then, there were times when he made the right decision to throw it, and they got open, and they got some good skill guys. This is a good team. It really is, and we beat a good team today, and I'm really proud of our players, especially the way they competed for 60 minutes in the game.
And real quick, what was the story behind Ardarius carrying around the axe in the second half?
I was going to ask him that. I've never seen the axe before. I really don't know much about it. I don't really think it had any impact on the outcome of the game. I would rather him have his stuff on out there playing. He's been a fabulous player for us and a really good leader and a great competitor. So hopefully we'll get him healthy and get him back soon.
Thanks, Coach.